moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but time my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
One too many times, the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two paid, and my three wet like lemonade. 4 times and I step back just to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it, cause I'm
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment. All it takes is a moment. Is it fate that you came this far unbroken? If it's destiny, you wrote it. Focused, but you gotta be focused. Make or break, it's the last goodbye they remember you for. They're calling your name, go and take what's yours. Here, now, it's everything you've been dreaming about. There's a reason why you were chosen. This is your moment.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are just a couple minutes away from the NACE Varsity Plus East 1 final here for Rainbow Six. Tonight, we have Lebanon Valley taking on Kettering Academy. Now, these two teams, of course, played before, as if you are unfamiliar with the NACE format. You play the round robin, at least in Varsity Plus, you play the round robin of everyone in your division. Then the top top 8 go into the playoffs. It is top 6. I'm thinking of differently, but top 6 go into playoffs, and the top 2 seeds get a bye. Then the other 4 play each other for spots in the semis, then a spot in the finals. So here we have the 2 teams that have made it all the way to your grand finals for the NACE Varsity Plus East 1 division in Rainbow Six Siege, and that is, of course, the Dutchmen and the Bulldogs here, R6 Academy for Kettering. Very excited to see this one. This Kettering team is the only NACE team that took a map off of Lebanon Valley over the course of the entire semester, playoffs, and regular season. So certainly something to look out for. This Kettering team can be a bit of a scare for this Lebanon Valley squad, but that was their first match of the semester. So certainly a lot has changed both in the teams, the way that they play the game, and also, of course, in the game itself. There's been a multitude of updates since the start of the season. So these 2 teams, I'd imagine, very, very excited to get into the lobby with each other. And, of course, let's talk our map set while we're here before we get into the series. Map number 1 is going to be Cafe. If you were here on Tuesday, you saw in the national national quarterfinal, Lebanon Valley finished off the series on Cafe as they end up winning that map. I believe it was 7-3, something like that, over Tarleton State, and they played very, very well in that series as a whole, but of course played very good on Cafe, again winning 7-3 over Tarleton State, a team that's pretty solid on that map in general. So definitely good thing to look out for if you are Lebanon Valley here. Outside of that, last week they also took down Ferris State in the semifinal to make it here to this final. They won 7-0, 7-0, perfect series there, and they are looking like they want to do that exact thing again. But that's, of course, going to have to come against a solid Kettering squad who just last week, also in the Nationals quarterfinal, they ended up winning in theirs over Arcadia, a team that has played LVC a multitude of times. We have not seen them play each other in an official match in a fair amount of time, but still something worth noting, at least in terms of this team here. And Lebanon Valley, they are in the Champions Division, and for Kettering, they are in Challengers, so that's just a little bit of a difference there between the 2 divisional tiers. Now, that's an NECC. That doesn't matter here, but it is worth noting just in terms of understanding the skill that these 2 teams have, the quality that these squads do bring to the table. Of course, after Cafe, we will head to Oregon. That was the map pick of Kettering. The first ban that they had was on Clubhouse, I believe, if I had heard correctly. So that is definitely a map they didn't want in the set. They know LVC have been playing this map so often, not only in NACE play, but in NECC play as well. They are a very, very strong Clubhouse team, so they wanted to get that out of the map set, and that's where they went with their first ban. They didn't want LVC to even get a chance to pick it, so that's where it went. Outside of that, they took out Bank, and they took out Skyscraper, 2 other maps that they've probably seen LVC play a good bit over the semester that they don't want in this series. For LVC, you had the typical bans, Chalet, Consulate, and Nighthaven Labs. All 3 are bans that LVC have been going through for the past 2 years now that this roster has been together. So not really anything surprising there. And if you expected anything else, I'd be very surprised, as unless if you never watched this LVC team. If you haven't, then you wouldn't know that. But if you've been watching them for the past 2 years, you would know that's always going to be their bans. So on Cafe, we have attacking for Lebanon Valley, as they will be looking to start off strong. I believe they actually did end up attacking Tuesday when they played Tarleton State. They went up 6-0 or no, I think it was 5-1. They went up on their attack 5-1, and they ended up closing it out 7-3. So we do have all the players in the lobby. Should be ready to go. Again, grand finals still best of 3. And NACE does not change it. For NECC, their finals are best of 5. But here in NACE play, there is no changes to that. But we do, again, have every player in the lobby. So theoretically, we should be ready to get things started and kick off our final as quickly as possible. Now, for me personally, this is my last ever NACE cast under the LVC banner. So I just want to say before we get started, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching these series. It has been an insane ride. And, of course, we're not done just yet. We still have Tuesday and possibly the Tuesday after that as well. But for NACE play, this is absolutely it. No more NACE matches after this, at least for the rest of the season, which is only 2 weeks anyways. Thank you again all for being here. NACE has been a pleasure to cast. It's where I got my start. First match I ever casted was NACE Call of Duty back in Cold War. LVC took on, I believe it was Butler or something like that, or it might have been Shenandoah, one of those two. So, again, very, very thankful for what NACE has given me opportunity-wise. I've played in NACE matches for a very long time. I've been a part of this organization for a super long time. So I'm very, again, thankful for everything that I've been given through NACE and also, of course, through LVC. But, of course, we have a little bit of a game to watch here, ladies and gentlemen. We are here in map number 1. Band phase has started. Apologies for the lag there. Wow. The PC absolutely did not want to transition, but it is okay. It looks like the game is fine, so I don't know why that happened. But we're here, ready to go. Everyone is in. Bands are going through. The first and last bands will go to Kettering as they'll take out Dokebi from the attacking side. LVC likely going to take out the Monty, I'd imagine, as Monty has just been insanely powerful ever since the buff to the shield operators. And, man, it has just been wild to watch what some of these Monty plays have been able to get that teams have been able to get. And it actually will be the OSA. That's the other one I wanted to mention. I kind of forgot about it, but OSA will be taken out of the map set there from LVC. Now they will ban a defender, which will likely be Solus. They've been banning Solus for a decently long time now, the past at least month and a half, 2 months, somewhere in there. They've been banning Solus, so likely just going to be the same thing here, and it will be just that. Then we get one more ban from Kettering, and we will be good to go off to the races of the NACE Varsity Plus East 1 final. Sorry I have to say that so many times. It's just, it is truly a mouthful, but that's just how it is sometimes. Mira, the final ban there from Kettering. So we will have our map, or we will have our operator bans done. We have our map ready. We have the players loading in. Round number 1 of your final. Who will take it, LVC or Kettering? We'll have to find out as LVC starts off on the attack. For Kettering, they're going to be going to Cocktail and Bar. It's a standard site for pretty much every team to hold up. And I'd imagine LVC going into this series with a lot of confidence, knowing they have not lost a game in this division. Hell, they have not lost a map in this division since the very second, I think, map of the year. I believe that's when they lost theirs to Kettering. That era's map, no, it's the very first map of the season. That was when that was the only map they've lost all year long in NACE play. NACC play, they have lost maps. I'll be clear on that. But here in NACE, they've only lost one map, and it was to this very team to kick off the semester. So you have to be thinking about that in the back of your head. If you are Kettering, especially, maybe a bit of confidence, but seeing how much LVC has improved, you certainly have to be taking that into account. You got players like Plexios, you got players like Mr. Davis, and always is there too, Mr. Reliable, the senior. One of 2 seniors. Senate, of course, the support of this squad, making sure no one's hopping out too early. No one's getting a bit overzealous. As Revenant looked like he was shaking his screen up and down, just making sure he's not like lagging out or anything, but should be all right. You can see the Plexios drone. He's going to be on the Brava. There's not really a lot to hack here if you are Plexios, but his drone will get destroyed. As now, here come the Grims, here come the Flashes, the Yings, the Candelas, the Grims coming all throughout. I'm just going to go off of everyone, off of the players that are getting blinded by Flashes. Reliable and Plexios have already found one apiece. 3v5, and the Diffuser is going down. Revenant, though, will at least find Reliable. Diffuser is planted, though, and this is going to be an insanely hard retake. If you are Kettering, you cannot allow that Diffuser to go down. You at least have some players that are directly towards the site. Cryan, though, will not find Plexios. This man, such a hard player to kill, but will be Revenant getting the trade. 25 on the clock, but there's 2 players up towards Skylight. It's going to make this a near impossible retake, but Revenant will find his third. Gets the drop onto Mr. Davis, but now 2v1 for Revenant. Would need the ace, would need the 1v2 in about half a second, and you can see the drone just messing with the head of Revenant. Grims coming down too. Good shot from Revenant. Rips the head off of the Senate. Phenomenal shot and will not get the ace. That was very close, but regardless, it'll be an LVC round, and even if he got that kill, it wouldn't matter. But still, it would have been a really cool ace to see, especially from that angle. Regardless, round number 1 will go the way of Lebanon Valley, and they made that look a bit easy, especially with how quickly they got down to the site and how quickly they got that Diffuser planted. And that's the scary thing if you are Kettering. You have to be aware of how fast LVC can get to the bomb site, but they can also do the smart thing and slow it down when they need to. They've played some incredible competition over the past few months, over the past 2 years. They've been a roster. And it looks like you're going to see the same thing out from Kettering. Although the Aruni, not the most helpful last round, so that will get switched out. But everything else will remain. Actually, 2 players will switch out. You'll see Revenant going to be hopping off the Fenrir onto the Mozzie. And I really do like this pick from Chop, but we'll need to absolutely stay alive if that yokai, or if the yokais, plural, going to come into play. And we'll see where Chop ends up positioning themselves. That's going to be genuinely, that will be very important to this round, as long as Chop stays alive, that plant could be denied for an insanely long amount of time. And also, of course, you still need to keep the yokais in position. See drones coming through. Now we see likely just going to go for the same push that they just had. It's looking a little bit different. Mr. Davis will be off the Ying and onto the Capital. And you're also going to see a buck out from Plexios. The Bravo drone's really not necessary last round, so you'll see him switch it on up and go something a bit different. Can get below and make some verts. See if there's anyone above him. Mr. Davis also going to toss down some claymores. Is Reliable already ripped out from White. That'll be Cryan finding first blood. I would assume that was over towards Reading, and you can actually see the little square there to show where his body is. So quick 4v5, and now 3v5. Mr. Davis gets ripped apart. His head gets taken off by Revenant. Kettering looking to bounce back here. You can see the verts out from Plexios. Has a couple players intrigued there and cannot find a kill. And this round has gone down so quickly. Just what we saw from LVC. Kettering has responded very well. 2v5 and not a lot to work with if you are Lebanon Valley. You do at least have the case if you are Emporium. The Senate is still going to be able to stay Skylight. But it's really going to come a lot down to Emporium. You can see those 4 pings hits it down onto the players sitting behind the wall. That's going to be Cryan. Will eventually get the kill, but Infamous very quick to respond, and now it's all down to the Senate 1v4. No case in sight. Should be around for Kettering unless it's similar to that of Arsenal on an absolute model. You'll see him try to turn around. Here's a player behind, but ultimately it will not matter. Finds the kill, and we'll have ourselves a tied-up ball game. Kettering not able to go back there now, at least for another few rounds. So you'll see them switch the site on up. Looking at this composition, I think I enjoy that there. I think it's a solid comp. I mean, you see this pretty similarly for most teams. LVC already getting some eyes on the bomb site, but of course the drones do spawn down low, so it's a bit easier to find this one than compared to any other site, at least on this map. We'll see where LVC decides to begin their attack as the site setup continues for Kettering. Just going to see a lot of denial in terms of utility denial and entry denial. Chop on the Cade and Arc going to be on the Wamai. Crying on the Jaeger. Those are three operators right there that are purely meant for utility denial and also a little bit of entry denial if you are Chop, but mainly you're just looking to deny any pieces of utility being used. Then alongside that you have Revenant, Infamous, also going to be on operators of that similar nature too. You'll see a heavy roam out from Cryan all the way up white. Revenant going to be hanging out towards Train. So 2 players that are going to have impact in the early round here. You can see Plexios tossing out the drone, looking to clear above, and you can already see a ping going down. That's going to be right onto Cryan, and now LVC are going to send the sources at it. Already forced Cryan to back down. A minute taken off the clock. And you can see the drones constantly flying through for Love in the Valley, making sure every nook and cranny is cleared. Plexios trying to open this hatch. Also still has the Rams. And look at that. Plexios has perfect eyes on that player in Train, but it doesn't even matter. Revenant's still going to find a first blood. You can see watching that hatch, it's going to be Mr. Davis who got killed there. And just rough timing for Revenant. Will get traded out by Emporium. 4v4. Now 1v1 for Cryan. Takes down Plexios. Plexios, I believe, was looking to hop onto a drone, and that's going to be the Ram dead, too. That is a lot of utility you're losing. Cryan finds a second on the roam, has a third in sight, finds the third. Cryan shutting down the round. Emporium gets one back, but would need a 1v4. Does at least find the second, makes it a triple kill for himself. Would need the ace here to get the clutch, and Arc just in a too good of a position. Huge round from Cryan. And despite all the drone work from Love in the Valley, that round gets shut down by the roam. And you have to be careful if you're Love in the Valley. I mean, they had the intel on both Revenant and Cryan and just were not able to shut them down. You have to be a bit more aware. That's going to be 2 in a row for Kettering. That's not going to force them onto that first floor. Or sorry, second floor. You can see they'll take reading and dining as their sites of choice. 6 and 2 already from Revenant. Outside of that, I mean, we also have Emporium at 5 and 2, but I believe 3 of his kills came in that previous round. And again, just going to be a heavy roam, but this, of course, this site much more prominent for that style of play. I'm going to see the 2-player combo here from Kettering, Chop and Arc. Also have the castle directly to their right. We actually have 3-piece here. Infamous as well. So we can take down anyone that decides to walk into sight. Nomad's going out from Emporium. What information does LVC get off the drone work here? Revenant with a crazy angle onto the skylight. Can spot the head of a player, but that is reliable. Not the man you want to take in a 1v1 on pure aim. Look at that angle he killed Revenant from. An insanely technical player there in Reliable. That's why you have him here. Makes so many plays like that. The Senate cannot get the shots onto Arc. Will end up falling. Makes it a 4v4. User at least dropped in the same spot. And look at this flank from Arc. Finds one. Can't find the second, though. It'll be Plexios on a trade. That'll be the Senate and Reliable who are gone from this fight. Now a 3v3. Look at this. Chop's still in a pretty solid spot. Is this expected? As actually ends up falling through the hatch. I don't know if that was, it looked half intentional, so I'll say it was for the sake of it. 1v1 for Plexios and Chop, and just very awkward angle. Neither of them can really get clean shots onto each other. A minute 10 on the clock. Now LVC need to start making their move. Jammer taken out. All these fouls. Plexios making even more as well. Trying to force out these players of Kettering. See if they can walk right into his sights. See Emporium joining with as well. See the drone from Emporium. Get some intel. But with just 35 now, LVC are going to have to drop here. Fuser in the hands of Mr. Davis. And we'll see if LVC can get this plant off. They're going to have to really rely on this first-ditch effort, making it work. Flashes through. There goes the Sophia stun as well. Can Emporium watch the head? And he does get the kill onto Cryan, but there's a lot of work to be done here. If you are, Lebanon Valley has a player, Plexus has a player in front of him. Diffuser does go down. Infamous gets down too. It's all down to Chop, who has very, very minimal HP. He'll get the res off and does. Now the shots onto Emporium don't connect. Actually, it may have been onto Mr. Davis, and it was. Plexios has a player in front of him. Gets the kill. Emporium finds the second. Lebanon Valley will tie it on up. A very strong attack and just continuing to stay on schedule, stay ahead in the life count. All starts with that first blood from Reliable, which again, very good shot from him. Whoever got that kill was either way getting a very, very clean shot onto the other. LVC though won't get the better of it. Here in round number 5, head back to the top floor, and that's pretty expected. When this one opens up, you certainly would love to take it if you're any team.
These guys' one strength is that they have very good depth to their utility.
And we're going to see that strat that worked out the last time, at least in terms of the operator composition. It looks like the setup is going to be pretty much the same too. We'll see what Chop is able to do. And Arc also on the Azami, very smart pick. And Azami is always very helpful, especially with the regeneration of the barriers. Despite the change to them being breachable by basically making it a soft wall where you can shoot the wall down. It's still a very, very strong piece, especially because you can just continually regenerate them over the course of the round. As long as you're staying alive, you're able to continue building up those barriers and finding more and making more and more technical angles that work in your favor. And you can see a lot of them going down from Arc. Has all sorts of places to play out of. Look at Revenant. Really sneaky spot, but we'll move away. Just to see if Crime will get flank through here. But if LVC can get the plant down, it's pretty much, that could be pretty much round over. So you have to be very careful, especially if your Chop need to stay alive, and we'll see if the Yokais get spotted. Chop definitely has some intel on drones. One of his own. See a lot going down. It'll be Mr. Davis, though, picking up first blood from the Skylight. Reliable again, just making sure the flank through red doesn't come through. Ping to the player there, and you'll see it reap the benefits from LVC. Good ping from Plexios. Emporium gonna get the kill from that. Having a solid game, sitting at 8-2 at the moment. Now the Candelas can go through, and the Flashes and the rest of the team can also continue to make their way. As long as Mr. Davis can stay alive in this smoke, he should be fine, but there is a yokai, so could take him off this plant. Arc will get Plexios, and again, the yokai's doing so much damage to this plant. LVC gonna have to find some kills if they want to win this round. Actually does manage to get the plant down somehow. The Senate will find Chop. So it's all down to Cryin and Arc Badman in the 2v2. And the Senate still has 2 more of those Bs. So I can get a lot of intel at Emporium. Of course, just waiting for someone to peek that diffuser. That one won't get taken down, I don't think. And the diffuse is still going through, makes it a 1v1. Arc at least gets the Senate, but Emporium in a very, very good situation here. Just has to continue to play the time, knows the bait is continuing to come through, and we will get taken down, but doesn't matter. Arc cannot get on the defuse fast enough. Good play from Emporium. Knows the fakes are through, and of course, I'd imagine there's some comms from Mr. Plexios himself too. Plexios, one of the most journeyed players that we have in our program for any title. I mean, he's been competing in competitive Rainbow Six for years upon years now, and I've talked to him about this before. In his words, I've seen every situation. I know if I go into a round, I know what's going to happen, and plays like that are exactly what you get out of an experienced player of Plexios' caliber. But of course, can't take away from Emporium. Very good play. Make sure he stays alive. Has the line scan too to make sure that player is not continuing to move towards the bomb. And let the Valley take back their lead. But it's going to be the same thing for Kettering. They're going to, again, go back to the 3rd floor and on the site. And on the operator composition. See if LVC can, again, make this attack work out. It's going to be, again, a heavy roam for Kettering. You're going to see Cryin and Revenant doing pretty much the same thing they've been almost every single round. Just playing off-site and seeing if they can find a pick in the early round.
Ready to breach.
See if Plexus can get done on the Brava drones. Hacks a cam there. Gets one of the defaults out of the way. Looks like he's scanned another thing as well. He's gotten 2 hacks. I don't know what the other one's on, but did manage to at least find 2 things to claim as LVCs before running into that mute jammer. Ace charges are coming through for Reliable. Opening up the red stairs wall. Arc waiting for someone to drop it. You see Chop posted up with, I believe, Infamous. Yokai not getting a ton of intel, but of course it's not really the main goal for it. It's mainly to just stop the plant from coming through. 1:35 now on the clock, and LVC likely going to start working towards their push. Plexios, though, has perfect eyes on Arc. Just knows exactly where they're at, but it still will lead to a kill for Arc. Finds Mr. Davis, but Plexios and the Senate respond. Arc is still alive, though, in that position, so LVC certainly have some intel. Look at that. I mean, the drone's still not destroyed, so Arc not in the most ideal locations. Reliable peeks that and decides to leave it be. As Emporium will get taken down by a Nitro Cell. Reliable just barely staying alive there. Takes some shots now. 50 on the clock, 3v3. Despite LVC having all this intel, they're not really able to capitalize off of it. It's just such a good location to be in. trying to isolate this fight, and Plexios with a one-tap. Gets his second of the round. Now it's down to Chop and Revenant. Look at that ping right onto this player above Revenant. There's two there, but has no nitro cells. Already got a kill with it, so has to decide to back away, and Chop with the yokai. Gonna be looking to get this player off the defuse, and will go. No! The yokai gets taken down just in time, and that will allow the plant to go through. Huge spot at the very last second. Reliable. Just waiting. Gets the shoulder. Now backs away. Just trying to force this fight. Gets the right idea, but Plexios gets downed on the other side. So now Reliable has to be very careful here. And he's going to get taken down. It's all down to the Senate 1v2. Yokai get any information? Absolutely does. Stuns up the Senate, but he just has to stay alive. And that's going to be a kill. Chop has all the intel. And it will be a draw at the half. That's, I'd imagine, still a W in LVC's book. Of course, on your attack, it's most preferred you at least go in with a 3-3 split. Attacking never the easiest thing, no matter what map you're on. LVC, again, a very strong defensive team, and to be fair, that's expected of every single team in Rainbow Six. You're typically a defensive squad. You're going to see LVC go up to that third floor, but you can tell the strat's a good bit different. Emporium on the pulse. You'll see also a Maestro from Mr. Davis. And I hate to make this pun. He's a Maestro on Maestro. Not many players really, at least that I've seen, use him a ton. And especially on this site, Mr. Davis, though, loves having those camps. He can be such a nuisance. Does a great job staying alive and playing his life, and that gives him just ample opportunities to continue keeping players off plants. And you'll see it similar to how a yokai drone works for Mr. Davis. He'll play the same type of role just on Maestro and also do damage instead of just stunning a player up. Emporium looking for any heartbeats, but will not find any. Reliable. Let's see if he's able to find anything on the spawn peak. Looks like that answer is going to be no for the time being. You can already see some shots going up towards Piano. I believe Plexios misthrows the Izami, so has to end up destroying it. Reliable just seeing if he can catch anyone off guard. Now you're seeing pulses being detected by Emporium. Claymore is placed. Crying on the Jackal. Gonna get spotted by Emporium, but neither player takes damage as you'll see Reliable run outside, but
Reloading.
nothing comes of that either. See if the LVC roam ends up being effective. Skylight controlled from Revenant. Chop on the Brava. Let's see what they can end up getting, and it looks like there's only one Brava drone left. You can see the Senate gets spotted, but it's a bit easier said than done to take this player out of this position. The Senate very strong here on Cigar, but we'll see what happens as they go for a drop. Plexios, I would assume, knows that player's there, but due to that ping, but neither of them can really see each other. Now 1 minute and 10 on the clock. We're going to see Kettering start to make their push here in just a little bit. More pulses, more heartbeats detected by Emporium. Kettering not having a lot of map control at the moment. They're still struggling to really find anything. You'll see Cryin playing with the purple filter on the game. Spotted out is the Senate. A bit surprised to see that Mute Jammer's not even doing much of anything. Although Emporium is getting Jackal tracked. That's Reliable, though, who you have to worry about. Finds a double. Infamous also goes down. That'll be the Senate. Again, easier said than done to take the Senate out of that position. He loves playing in Cigar, and you see why there. Finds him a kill. Plexios will take down Chop, all down to Arc in a 1v5. Protected outdoors is reliable, but he's going to run into a Claymore, so won't matter. The Senate, again, finds a second on the drop. And, I mean, you see how easy it is for the Senate to find that kill. Drops straight into his crosshair. And having the case in that position is so free as well. 4-3, Lebanon Valley continuing to just narrowly hold the lead. Good hold from LVC. Kettering not able to really get any map control. The second they ran into Train, they were getting tracked by Emporium, but Reliable, really the player there that makes it happen. Finds one, quickly flicks onto the second. Those are the type of plays you see him making very often, especially when he gets a chance to roam and kind of do his own thing. And you're going to see that again here as he's on the Jaeger. Going to be setting up over towards Bakery for Emporium. We'll play there like almost every single Amai to ever see this site. You're going to see Chop on the fuse. We don't get to see this operator very often, but likely just going to be there to burn the ADSs of Reliable and assume burn the Wamais of Emporium too. Also going to see an IQ out from Revenant, so maybe we'll see those ADSs get destroyed before they can even become a factor, depending on how Kettering decides to play this. As Reliable took a lot of damage there. Tried to go for a spawn peek, but it's only not going to go his way. So he decides to move it back a little bit. You can see a lot of utility being detected by Revenant. Claymore down two, just to protect himself from getting jumped out on. Drones coming through for Kettering. Now the Rams being placed towards Train. This is a very common play, but it looks like the Ram actually got stuck. I'm not sure if it'll continue to go through, and it doesn't look like it does, so not going to make as much verts as maybe Cryan would have liked. Although I did see a Jackal track onto one of the LVC players. I'm not sure who that was. I didn't get a chance to see. But a bunch of drones continuing to search out for these LVC players. Default will get taken down. You can see another Ram placed by Cryan. Reliable gets down, gets taken down. Revenant gonna get first blood over towards Pillar. And now there's some room for Kettering to breathe. Not gonna have to worry as much about the roam from Lebanon Valley. They look to just run through the front door. Now the fuses come out. Not sure if much will come of this. I believe that's the Senate who might have to worry about them. He does. He does escape though, and doesn't have any verts above him, so he doesn't have to worry about getting shot from above, at least for the time being. As it'll be Mr. Davis finding a kill on to Arc, so that'll be making this a 4v4, 45 seconds on the clock, and I believe that was the player who's standing outside the front lobby door. 35 on the clock. All Rams have been used, and I believe all fuses have been as well, and they have. Not a lot of utility left if you are Kettering, and Infamous going to take that fight. Gets put pretty weak. It's going to be Mr. Davis, I believe. Or, sorry, it's Plexios actually in that one. Gets the case down. Good shots from Plexios. Really smart play. Dodges both the flashes. Well, it doesn't dodge them, but plays off of them very well. Makes it a 2v4, or Mr. Davis makes it a 2v4, but Cryan will at least find Emporium. Cryan can't get the flick, and now just 5 seconds on the clock. LVC just has to stay alive. Triple kill from Mr. Davis. Chop finds the Senate. 1v2, and then not enough time to make it happen. 5-3. Lebanon Valley starting to pull away with this game. I believe I just saw timeout requested from Kettering, unless I missed that, and I did not, so there is a timeout, and you can see Kettering Not bad stat-wise either. 9 and 5 from Arc and 9 and 6 from Revenant. On the LVC side, you have a 9 and 5 from Emporium, 8 and 5 from Plexios. Just stellar performances from those four really. And LVC just simply playing a lot calmer, having just better play style right now. They just look like the better team at the moment. They're holding off Kettering very, very well. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, London Valley is just simply outplaying Kettering, and the strats from London Valley are a bit cleaner. Shots are looking a bit better. As we come out of this timeout, we'll see where London Valley decides to go. It's 2 back-to-back, looking to get to match point. And it looks like it'll be Fireplace and Reading for LVC. Or sorry, Dining. I don't know what the official call is. I mean, technically it's Fireplace, but players do tend to come up with different call-outs. Either way, they'll head to the second floor. You're going to see Mr. Davis on the Valkyrie, and I always like the Valkyrie, especially on this site, as you have to really find a way to get control of not only above, but also below, to try and keep the players keep the attackers off the site, and just keep yourself vigilant from the attackers. Plexus will be the one on Fenrir. And Reliable again on Jaeger will just be continuing to roam. I mean, everyone pretty much on the LVC roster will be roaming on this site. That's just how you see it standard, especially when you have to patch up a bunch of hatches and walls above, and also patch up a bunch of walls below, or not walls, but keep players away from just simply getting control of below. I'm going to see a 0 out from Chop. I do like this pick, actually. Revenant going to be on the Ram, integral for the second floor sites. You typically want to get above whatever bomb site you can, and the Rams get some verts going. Make it harder for the defensive team to hold the site. Look at this from Arc. Already getting some spots onto a player. Tries to maybe take a little bit of health off of anyone he can find, but it will not happen. I believe that was Emporium and Plexios, the players that were crossing there.
Magnets ready.
Valcam and Piano for Mr. Davis. Not going to get spotted there by Cryan, so we'll see if he's able to find anything, or if LVC will get an early pick. As Mr. Davis will get the kill from the Nitro Cell. Senna also has an angle towards that second floor pillar. You can see where Mr. Davis threw that Nitro. Revenant trying to be careful here, knows that there's players below him. Infamous trying to keep himself alive as well. And another spot there from Mr. Davis on the Valkyrie camp. Not getting destroyed by Kettering. I'm assuming they have no idea it's there. It is, I would assume, hidden. Plexus will play off of that and get a kill onto Arc. As Plexus now has to whip around and finds a kill. Actually, no, that'll be Reliable who gets that one, but either way, just dives outside and manages to get back in with no trouble. Revenant now going to be the last player up. Does at least find Emporium, but Plexus will get Infamous to officially make it a 1v4. And this is looking like it'll be LVC match point. Revenant might be 10 and 6, but you're going to have to have an incredible play, and it starts with that 1v4. But now you have absolutely no HP left, and you also still have to get the case. It's just so much to worry about if you are Revenant. Getting hit by the Fenrir, I mean, you just can't see a thing to worry about. Just trying to stay alive, and there's just so much there. Reliable will finally be the one to pick up the kill. 6-3, LVC looking to go up 1-0 in the series. Map number 2 is Kettering's map pick, though, and that will be Oregon. We'll see what Kettering is able to do here, but they're going to have to very heavily claw out of this one. Need 3 straight rounds. LVC has just gotten their 3rd straight, so Kettering will have to respond with just that if they want to see the OT. But if they win 3 straight, That's only OT. You still have to win the game by 2. Or send it to 7-7 and win that last round. But it'll be third floor too, so this is going to be a very tough one to attack if you are Kettering. Obviously, very clinical. Last time we saw them here. Mr. Davis again going to be on the Maestro. The Senate going to be hanging out in Cigar again on the mute. This entire strat just going to stay what it was before. There's no reason to fix something that's not broke. Plexia sitting at 10-6 and Emporium at 9-6. Players having a solid game. Not quite what we saw the other day. I mean, Plexius went 34 and I believe 16 in the series series on Tuesday against Tarleton State. Had an absolute performance. 2 aces and a 1v4. Reliable, preparing for the jump out, but there will not be anyone there for him to jump out onto. Emporium getting some ideas. Wonder where certain players are at. Those pulse scans. Rival decides to just go for it. Finds one. Chop, though, will at least get Emporium off the Claymore. So will Reliable be able to stay alive? No. Chop will get the pinch. So it is a 3v4. Bit of chaos at the start of the round, but you can see LVC certainly feeling confident about how they want to play this game. Gonna be above control for Kettering, and again, a Claymore getting a kill. Instant trade, so Kettering will keep the man advantage, but if you look at the who's left on Lebanon Valley, these are 2 players that are certainly not going to hop out of the building. So Claymores hopefully will not be an issue, as I mean, I'm pretty sure most of the Claymores are gone anyways. Drone taken out. Sen going to be sitting in Cigar. Mr. Davis going to be rotating towards White. How does Kettering elect to play this? They do have pace, so they can at least go for a plant here. But Infamous will have to be able to drop without getting immediately melted. And I was going to say, I'd imagine they definitely know the Senate is here, but NACE shouldn't do anything to him, and it doesn't. And they're just going to pre-fire this one out. So the Senate does get to back away. It looks like he will be okay for now, but do they drone him out in this position? No, they do not. Finds one. Makes it a 2v2. Gets, I think, a shot onto the second, but now it'll be down to Mr. Davis in the 1v2 for the map. 35 on the clock. Takes out the Bravo drone, so the cam, I don't believe, gets hacked. Mr. Davis will certainly have his location known, though. Has to be careful. But unfortunately, he can't kill the planner. Doesn't get to the second camera on time. Gets a down on one. Has idea on the second now. Rez coming through, gets the nade kill onto the player that's down. And that will be one player, 1v2, Mr. Davis, the captain, shutting it down. 7-3, LVC. And we head to Oregon. Lebanon Valley, a commanding map there. 1v2, just to add the cherry on top. One map away from being your NACE Varsity Plus East 1 champions is now the Dutchman. 11-7 from Plexios, 11-8 from Revenant as well. Can't let that go unnoticed. And I'm sure Lebanon Valley are certainly feeling good about themselves there. But, of course, I'm assuming we will have a bit of a break before we get into map number 2. So what we'll do is we'll toss it over to a 5-minute break, and we'll catch you guys here on the other side as Lebanon Valley look to close out the series on Oregon. We'll see you guys in just a little bit as we get ready for map number 2.
should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Not that you're gone. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Laying on my floor, thinking about all the things that we've been through. From 24/7 to pretending like I never met you. No, it's all for the best, cause I know we're a mess every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem
All right, we're back for map number 2. Lebanon Valley up 1-0 in your series. This is a best of 3 despite it being a grand final. So if LVC wins this map, they take home the division. And if Kettering wins, we get to see a decider on border. Now we start things off with the map or the operator bans. Probably going to be the Osa, I'd assume here. Maybe the Monty, depending on what they want to go for. It'll actually be a Ying that gets banned by Lebanon Valley. I'm a bit surprised by that one, but we'll see what Kettering decides to go for here. As they get this ban, and then the first defensive ban likely going to go for, I would assume, a Mira on defensive. On attacking, I'm not really sure what they'll elect to choose here. Maybe I don't think the Monty. Actually, it'll be the Maverick that gets banned. Not a terrible ban. I haven't seen it very often, but definitely worth doing, especially if you want to have that attack towards Attic, or if you want to have the defensive hold towards Attic. The Maverick is typically who you play to counter that and start getting I believe the bandits destroyed and also taking out the Cades. So at least a sensible one there from Kettering. They'll take out the Mute of all things on defense. I'm a bit surprised to see that one too. These are two very unconventional bans out from Kettering. But if you're in the situation they're in, I'd understand. Solus will be the ban for Lebanon Valley. They'll start off this map on defense. I'd assume we're going to see a change up. We're going to have to see a change up from the Senate. That would typically be his operator Mute. You saw him playing it a lot last map too. So very intrigued to see what the strategy is now for LVC. And it looks like the Senate will be taking up the Legion, as I'd imagine he'll be playing Cade a good bit too, if they do want to have that denial. Of course, there's no way to deny drones now, at least outside of Amazi. But LVC not going to elect for that here. And also, they didn't ban, Kettering not banning the Mirror kind of surprises me too. But Emporium will be the one playing that operator in this round. The Senate going to be on Legion, as typically he would be on Mute, but obviously, again, Mute got banned. So you'll see a little bit of a switch up. Reliable going to be on the Azami, and him and the Senate are just going to sit here. You can see there's shield plates on this bed. Reliable will be behind it. You'll see an Azami probably go down here and just kind of play off of it, force those players in the balcony to take all the time in the round to even try and get into the building, or at least try and get into the second floor here from balcony. Spawn peak wise, I don't see anyone looking for that, so just going to be a standard hold for LVC. Start off with Arkin. Infamous actually just gets taken down, although Mr. Davis does fall. This is only a down onto Infamous, so should be able to get rezzed on up. I'm not sure where Mr. Davis was at when he died. You can see some focus towards tower. Infamous does get rezzed, but the Senate will quickly get the kill onto him. So now we have a 4v4, not even a full minute into the round. Plexi is just going for something a bit incredible. Emporium, though, will take down Revenant. And now there's a couple players trying to focus on tower, but Emporium going to drop here. Gather together with Plexios. It'll be Reliable, though that falls. So now balcony is a bit more open. The Senate's still alive, though. It looks like Reliable, I'm assuming, got pinched, as no one was on the mirror. See where these players are at. Bryant take down the mirror, so gives them a bit more space to work with. See some red pings going down. As Plexios gonna get Cryant. Tries to take the fight, but Cryant will not be able to win that one. It's down to Chop and Arkin. They're on slightly opposite ends of the map. They're trying to get together here. Actually, no. You can see the Legion, so it'll get taken out by Arc, and we'll just decide to push away. Don't have any Bravo drones if you're Chop. They're both already destroyed. Both players have a single drone left as well, so they can at least get some work done there. Emporium gets tagged up. While Chop's just trying to make some verts. Arc trying to play off good as well. See if there's anyone to shoot from below. Just 25 on the clock, and at least Arc doesn't have the diffuser. This is going to have to be some really good team play from Kettering. Now, LVC gets to play off the audio of the Fenrir, and that's going to be the Senate, at least finding one. Now makes it a 2v1 with just 9 seconds. Just going to have to walk at this, and Emporium won't even give them the chance. Nitrocell will connect, and didn't need to do a whole lot of damage to take down Arc in that situation. LVC going to take round number 1. So far, this has been great work from Lebanon Valley. They just look like the more collected team as a whole here. So we will have to see what develops as we go through the rest of the map. We're going to see LVC go down to the basement. They've had some really interesting rounds down here as of late. The past couple of times they've played Oregon, they've kind of struggled defensively on the basement site. We'll see, though, if they manage to handle what Kettering throws at them in this round. Looking at the operators, it's going to be a pretty standard push, at least from what I know of for Kettering. We're going to see a few different players roaming from Lebanon Valley. It's going to be Plexios and Emporium as they continue to get some things done up top. You can see where the Kettering players have decided to spawn. We'll see if Plexios can make an impact here. So this is going to be a crucial play for either side, but Plexios has been droned out, so enough to back away. Takes down another drone, though. Drone economy slowly starting to dwindle if you are Kettering. Plexios has to back all the way down, so now there's a lot of map control for Kettering, but of course they still need to clear it to confirm that you don't have to worry about anyone else shooting them in the back. Now you're going to start to see that take shape. Parm going to be the most forward of LVC, and I do see the Senate starting to make a little bit of a move. Spots a drone. It's going to be a Twitch drone. He should be taking this one down. It'll be Plexios finding first blood, though. As now you can see the Senate just waiting for it. Takes down the Twitch drone, so those Goyos will stay intact, and that's huge for Lebanon Valley. They also get the first blood out of it. One more Twitch drone left, and Arc decides to save it. And you can see in the top right there, there's only 4 drones left for Kettering. They've lost almost every single one. Well, 5 if you count the Twitch drone. They're starting to see Kettering make their move. This is going to go towards the laundry. See the Twitch drone now coming back into the fray. It looks like it will be bunker for Kettering. At least a couple players there crying. Good shot onto the head of Mr. Davis from the, even though they were Fenrir. Shot in the dark. And it connects. Now 4v4. Kettering trying to collapse here. They're going to do just that. Cryan walks in, takes down Reliable. Plexios gets taken down by Cryan as well. That's a triple for Cryan. Emporium actually finds 2, makes it a 2v2. Good work from Emporium, finds a third of his own. Now 1v1, the Senate versus Arc. Diffuser is there, 10 on the clock. Senate has the red ping, has the intel, has everything he needs. The Senate will get the kill. You can see that red ping just perfect for the Senate. Doesn't need to worry about a thing. You could very faintly see the cam that could look through that rotate. Gets the spot on the player planting. And LVC will head up 2-0. Confidence has to be at an all-time high. Now LVC forced to head to that first floor. Not really an ideal sight, but regardless, LVC love to, or have to go here. As you'll see, Norik's out. Very, very rare you get to see this operator, but on this site, Mr. Davis will be taking that one up. You're going to see Reliable and Emporium trying to lock down the third floor. Or sorry, second floor. In the basement, free reign. And then you'll have an overextension from the Senate as he's going to run into a lot of trouble here. Look at how aggressive the Senate is playing. I've never seen this from him, but he may just get lucky. What timing does he get? And look at this. Just on the other side of the wall.
Reload.
Is Plexus going to drop from tower? Senate probably going to be the one that gets some shots down range. Maybe not. We'll see if LVC get any intel on it, but kind of just doubt it. As he'll back all the way down to sight. As the Senate gets the headshot on the arc. First blood LVC again.
Loading mag.
Oh, drone taken down already. They're at 3 drones remaining. And then the 2 lava drones from Chop. But Chop currently blinded by the Fenrir. Cryan will at least get one back onto Reliable. But Emporium has a quick response. Plexios out through Trophy. Has one in his sights. Rips the head off of Revenant. Has a second in front of him. Gets the down. Gets the finish. All down to Infamous. And that is a third from Plexios. A quick 3-piece, and that will be the round. Look at that shot, too. Gets the perfect timing. The spot onto the head. 3-0, and Lebanon Valley have won 6 straight rounds. Actually, 7 straight rounds. I can't do math. As they won 4 in a row on Cafe to close out the map there. They have won 4 straight defensive rounds even. As the past 7 rounds they've been on defense, won every single time. As now they head up to that second floor. Kettering are in a struggle bus at the moment. Really unsure of how to attack Lebanon Valley. As you have Emporium and Plexios, the dynamic duo, a combined 11-2. Just nothing that Kettering has been able to find in terms of controlling these 2 players. And the rest of the team, I mean, 4 kills total, and all 4 of them coming from the Senate, who's sitting at 4-1 himself. If you're looking at Kettering, you only have 8 total kills, and it's only 2 players that they come across. 5 from Cryan, 3 from Arc. Everyone else sitting at a combined 0-9. That Reliable looks for his first, and will back away pretty quickly. As Emporium getting challenged over towards tower. Look to take out the window. Drone gets dealt with. See Plexios hops out. Looks for anyone to take down and forgets he needs to actually break the wall, or break the door to walk through it. Either way, Nitro won't connect. Shots will not find a body, so 5v5 still. Because both these players are going for crazy one tap, and Plexios hits the nail on the head. Going for style points. He collects them. 4v5. Kettering again getting shut down. Crying. At least takes down Plexios, gets the trade. Again, take down the Mira. And look at that shot. Crying finds his second, takes out the Senate. Now some control towards Trophy, and again a man advantage for Kettering. I say again, I meant to say a man advantage for Kettering. Not sure if they have many man advantages in this game. So getting 2 players towards Attic. Emporium finds the first, but doesn't expect the second. It's going to come down to Mr. Davis and Reliable. It's going to come down to Reliable as Mr. Davis immediately dealt with 1v3. This would be something incredible from Reliable. Doesn't have a kill right now, but could put himself at even if he finds all 3, gets the head off of Cryin. Now we'll need the defuse to go with it. Have to worry about the Grims too. Gives himself some options there. Gets the down, makes the 1v1. 25 seconds left too. Reliable has time to deal with this. Close off the window. And he does just that. Will Infamous get through the barrier in time? And it looks like he does, but Reliable gets the kill. Ultimately will not matter though, as he doesn't have enough time to defuse. Finally, Kettering getting on the board. The fact that Reliable almost gets that 1v3 is insane. But either way, Kettering finally stabilizing. They can still make this a draw at half, too. That would be huge if they're able to do it. LVC will head back down to the basement. They're not going to double down on sites there. And it looks like that setup is going to be the same as where how they held the basement beforehand. We'll see though if anyone overextends for Lebanon Valley. It looks like Plexios will probably be that man once more, and it's the same setup they had last time, so we'll just see if Plexios changes some things up on the roam, along with Emporium. See where the spawns come in. That shot's going straight through that front door from Plexios. Won't connect, but certainly alerting as I went off Plexios' POV. He finds a kill. First blood again for Plexios. As Plexios tries to take out a drone, does get it, but will be taken down by Cryin, who has some help with the drone pushing through. So Infamous still in spawn. Not that far away, but hung out on a drone for the entirety.
Reload!
To start that round. Now you're seeing some moves being made. Emporium, though, He's going to be over towards tower. As Infamous, unfortunately, I don't think that was intended. I'm assuming they wanted to hit the hatch and ultimately did not. As everyone from Lebanon Valley has backed off and they are all bunkering in the site. Kettering just trying to get into the final positions before they execute here. As Mr. Davis finds the kill on Decry and doesn't even give the drone a chance to spot him out. The Senate has the location of a player towards him. Gonna try and take half a pix off this player's head. And can't. It's not really a great weapon for that positioning. So the Goyos will have to do for the time being. Some Grims continuing to go down. Now you're going to see the Grim walking down. That's Chop. Finds Emporium. Mr. Davis still gets a trade. Finds a second. That's his triple kill for Mr. Davis. All down to Revenant, just 10 seconds, and there's really not a whole lot you can do in this situation. Don't even have the diffuser. It's all the way outside. You have to kill all 3 players of Lebanon Valley in just 4 seconds. Still didn't get the finish there. Mr. Davis will get the kill. Finds 4. I'm a bit surprised Mr. Davis even stayed alive for as long as he did there. Felt like he really should not have had most of those kills. As Kettering will call their timeout. 4-1, and Kettering, this is slowly slipping away from them. LVC have came in with some fire today. 7-3 from both Emporium and Plexios. Only difference being an assist extra for Emporium. And if you're Kettering here, I mean, it's just not looking good heading into this last round of the first half. LVC could be up 5-1, and I feel at that point it'd be almost a coronation the last few rounds of the game. Of course, I don't want to put Kettering out. They are the only team that has taken a map off of Lebanon Valley in NACE play this semester, so that is definitely worth noting and something that should be remembered, especially when you're looking back at this LVC team and what they've been able to do in NACE. I mean, coming off a 7-0, 7-0 last week over Fair State, they have to be they've had to have been immensely confident coming into this one. LVC will head all the way back up to that second floor. They're going to change up a little bit. It's going to be the Senate now on the Mozzie. And of course, with that mute being banned, he has had to play a few different operators defensively. Just typically would be a mute main, but can't really do that when, you know, he's kind of banned. So now we'll be on the Mozzie. We'll see where he ends up going. Typically, the Senate will be hunkering down on site, but I'm curious to see if he roams playing an operator like Mozzie. I'm assuming we'll just continue to play with Reliable on the balcony. That is actually, Reliable might be looking for a bit of a spawn peek there, but I believe he got spotted by a drone, so he'll have to back away. I don't know if either of these players can spot each other. And, oh, that's unfortunate. I apologize. I've bugged the game, and now we get to see this in black and white. As Plexios trying to spot a player through the main door, ends up getting spotted by a drone. Drone taken out, but Arc sitting out towards big window. They'll have Revenant in tower. Infamous does get the Flores drone off, I believe. So actually, though, it doesn't take out the shield. I have to send in another one. Is there much that Kettering can really do about that? Hopefully this will also fix after the round. I really do apologize for that. Fine. Finally takes that shield out from below, but now his location certainly is known. Chop tossing some grins and actually spots a player right in front of him. That's going to be Emporium. Can't find the kill though. Had his Grim gun out. Cryin will at least get the kill from below. Actually, not from below. The gun's spotted, but Plexios may be a bit too aggressive on it. Now 3v5, so Kettering have an opportunity here. The Senate will at least get that kill, but gets caught reloading as Revenant makes it a 1v4 for Reliable, and everything is crumbled for Lebanon Valley. Reliable has so much in front of him, can't find a thing. So the timeout does go in the favor of Kettering. Now 4-2, and they head on defense. They have a chance here. Great pinch there from Kettering. Finally, looking like they can maybe make a play here. Can start bringing it back. If they win 2 more in a row, they'll at least get to tie up the game. You can see Cryin doing their damn best. 10-5 at the moment. Trying to bring this team, this Kettering squad, to at minimum a draw. Certainly would like to at least see Border. Is he infamous on the Tachanka? I'm a big Tachanka guy personally, but I don't know if I've really seen Chanka very often.
Device placed.
Especially, I just in general, honestly, Chanka's never really been the greatest operator in the world, but at least has a bit more utility than when he was in the start of the game. Gonna be that top floor, and we'll see what Chop and crew are able to do. See Chop on the Cade, probably gonna, and didn't even need to say it, actually gonna have bandits there, so gonna be a lot of wall denial from Kettering. And with the ban onto the the Maverick, that's, I would imagine, what their strategy was to begin with. As a flash from Reliable right into the face of Plexios. There is someone that is roaming around, I think. A couple players are on cams. Revenant gets spotted. I believe there's someone working with him too. Mr. Davis pops in, tries to get the plant down, but has to back away. Now goes for the closer corner. Chop gets the kill under Reliable, though, for first blood. 4v4 now as Plexios finds one. Watching over Mr. Davis. The diffuser does go down. It's just chaos in the site. The Senate, look at how far away he is. Infamous getting one on the Chanka, but finds a second too. Is there intel on the location of the Senate? And look at this. This is such a ratty spot from both the Senate and Plexios. Do they have any idea of where these two are at? And it looks like they will. Pops outdoors and actually will be up top, but Chop doesn't have the angle. Plexios finds a 3 and almost goes for the last, but it will not matter. Chop does find all the players, but doesn't ultimately mean a thing. And man, what a weird round there. Now 5 on the board for LVC, just 2 more and they will win your division. And man, that's a strat right there. That is a strat and a half right there. I don't know how you stop that, to be honest. I mean, especially when you're not expecting it. Just have 2 players being a fiddler on the roof, and you just can't do a thing. Good work from Lebanon Valley, always innovating. And Kettering are going to double down, see if they counter this strat this time around. Good to see the entire strat, by the way, change up for Kettering. Only thing they're keeping from last, or only things they're keeping from last round are the Jaeger and the Bandit. Oh, also the Warden. I just now realized that they had a Warden too. So the only changes they'll make are the Shanka and the Cave, which will switch up to a Smoke and Maestro respectively. You'll again see Cryin and Revenant being the players on the roam. What do the drones of Lebanon Valley have? A Deimos out from Reliable. Spots up Arc. Reliable will have to take out this window first, but I believe there's a good bit of pressure on Arc. Backs away. You can see LVC also trying to take out this shield, so Arc has a lot to worry about right now. I believe there's a player in main too. That's going to be Revenant, I think. And this is kind of stalling out right now for LVC. They are pretty stuck at the moment. Reliable still has 2 more pings. He's just going to get taken down, though, because he doesn't look up the stairs. I'm a bit confused by that. He knew that there was a player up there, but didn't take a look towards the stairs. Now Attic starting to be cleared out by Lebanon Valley, or at least attempting to. Arc gets put very weak, and the Senate will finish him off. So will be a 4v4 with 55 on the clock. You can see the ADS is getting pinged. Not a whole lot they can do right now about it, though. And to be fair, I don't think there's really anything. Emporium does have 2 flashes, but outside of that, the ADS aren't going to be doing a whole lot. Attic now being taken, though, by Lebanon Valley. Have to be careful of these Maestros. 20 seconds left. Grim's coming out from Plexios. Where can LVC plant? And it looks like Mr. Davis is going to start going for it. Flashes are coming through. Plexios just trying to hold the angle as best he can. The plant does get through. Chop put pretty weak, and now Plexios just trying to watch through this Attic side. Is the bedroom wall is not open, so they cannot rotate through there. It's just going to be a 3v3 now as Mr. Davis gets traded out. Senate hang out towards Armory, finds one. That's a second on the round. Has another nose move there, but can't get the shot. But it doesn't really matter. It's all down to a 3v1 for Revenant. It actually makes it a 1v1 with 14 seconds remaining. But there's just not enough time and too many things to check. Emporium putting LVC on match point. That's a great attack from LVC. Very clinical. And they're looking to shut it down right here, right now. And Kettering now have to be all in here. They're going to need to win 4 in a row to send this to OT just for a hope of playing a map 3. And Kettering going to go straight down. Infamous on the Echo. Going to be the main focus of stopping the plant. Revenant on the Aruni. We'll see where those gates decide to go. I'm assuming one is here. And actually, no. They have not put one on the bunker wall, which is a bit interesting, to say the least. Revenant will be roaming up top. We'll see one Aruni gate over towards the laundry door. That entries into the A bomb site. You'll see another one towards the pillar door. And I'm not sure where the other went. But you'll see Arky and Revenant, the ones that are going to be roaming. Also Crying there too. Sitting at 11 and 7. A solid game, but this is a squad struggling to get anything on the board. Mr. Davis going to be on the... Oh! Mr. Davis flying in on the shield. And he's just going to get taken out immediately. Plexios, though, will get a trade on to Cryin. This Lebanon Valley have just stuck towards the bunker door, but Plexios on the flank finds a second. Good work from Plexios. Still keeping the odds in favor of Lebanon Valley. ADS is trying to get burned, and now the Senate walks through. Any kills for LVC to be had. The Senate fixed on pillar. Lion Skin comes in. And Emporium will find Revenant. Good help from Emporium there with the Senate. Now down to Arc and Infamous. Your season on the line, your NACE season, because they are in NECC Challengers Nationals. On the line, if you are Kettering, now just left to one kill, Plexios. Who else but him to shut it all down? 2-0 for Lebanon Valley. They will be your NACE Varsity Plus East 1 champions. 7-3, 7-3. Sorry, 7-3, 7-2. I apologize. 15 and 6 from Plexios. Who else but him to get a stat line like that? An undefeated season in NACE play. Now we are down to just at most 2 matches left. Man, it's been quite a ride here. LVC will be your champions. Congratulations to the squad. Undefeated regular season, undefeated postseason. Only dropping one singular map, that being the very first of their NACE run. So very dominant there from LVC. But of course, that will not do it for us for the season. We have next week, Tuesday, LVC will be taking on Western Ontario in the NECC Champions National Semifinal. Of course, if they win that game, you will have one more match on April 30th, the NECC Champions National Championship. But of course, have to get through Tuesday first. That is going to do it for us tonight. Thank you all for joining us here. Go follow us on Twitter and Instagram at LVC_esports on both those platforms. Go follow us here on Twitch down below. Turn those notifications on to see when our streams go live. Also, go subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/@LVC Esports over there. But again, thank you guys all for watching. That is my final NACE game for under the LVC banner. I'm very thankful for the opportunities I've been able to get through NACE, both as a player and as a commentator/production person, whatever you want to call me. Thank you guys all for joining us through the years. But of course, we're not done just yet. Tuesday, we'll catch you guys back here at twitch.tv/Lebanon Valley College for NECC Champions National Semifinal against Western. We'll catch you guys here on the other side when we're ready to start to continue the Nationals run.
Take it too far to say that we cannot pretend now. Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you find